Let me know once it is visible for you guys. Okay. So first we need to understand, right? If you are not belongs to APM, I think here most of the folks belongs to APM side. So hope people are knowing what is APM, why it is required. Okay. So APM stands for Application Performance Management. Yeah, Application Performance Monitoring. Okay. So monitoring will give you that monitoring part. Okay. Just if you ask me as a difference, okay. So monitoring will give you, like you want to monitor CPU, I got CPU utilization. It will not give you that traces, okay? But management will give you the trace, right? So if you little bit, okay? So you can understand that. So APM refers to, either you can call APM stands for Application Performance Management. Yeah, Application Performance Monitoring. Both are correct, okay? You cannot argue with them like no, the abbreviation of APM is like Application Performance Monitoring. Yeah, application. It could be anything, okay? Okay, so you cannot argue with them. So what is happening is earlier, if you go with 10 years back, it was a there's a three types of approach. Okay, one is reactive approach, then it came to now picture came to now is proactive approach. Okay, and now it is predictive, right? So now all the data science field, you have seen that, right? It is coming the predictive. They will take your data or raw data, and based on that they will design in such a way that so they can predict, right? Next year, next month, yeah, next few hours, this go high, this go down, right? So these are the APM tools is like Dynatrace. Yeah, other monitoring tools like so Dynatrace has a AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so it's kind of proactive, 100%, but it is some sort of information also that will give you the predictive also. Okay, so APM is a very essential tools to optimize and monitor the performance of your application. Okay, so like if any application is going to production, right, monitoring is must required. Okay, why? Because without monitoring you can't understand that, right, where it, what services goes down, yeah, what a statement is having issue, which process is broken, yeah, which method is causing a problem, which database causes problem, right? When this slowness is having a issue, a lot of issue, right? So you can understand that with the help of APM tools, right? So APM is essential part of that application. Okay, without APM, if there is no monitoring in the production, I think you have seen that most of the organizations without monitoring they cannot move to that application to production environment, right? So make sure that APM should be, monitoring should be in a scope. So when they are moving to production, any application, it should be like once it's live, monitoring should be there, right? So that is the reason APM tool comes in the picture and is very famous now. This area, right? This field now is very huge and very good demand. Okay, so now it comes to Dynatrace comes in the picture. So there's a lot of APM monitoring tools like Dynatrace, App Dynamics, Datadog, Neural Lake, Instana, .com Monitor.com, Logic Monitors, right? Check MK. There are a lot of tools, and we have open source, right? Like InfluxDB, Telegraph, Grafana, then Elk. Then we have Prometheus. There are a lot of open source also, Zabbix, Nagios. There's a lot of monitoring tools. Some of the tools are only support infrastructure. Some of the tools support everything, right? So it depends. So what is your requirement? Based on that, we need to understand. Okay, for this tool is good. If for this requirement, this kind of monitoring, SysDig, platform monitoring, SysDig is very good. So like that. But Dynatrace, it will give you overall, right? Overall means either you have a infrastructure monitoring, yeah, you have a APM monitoring. If you wanted to do network monitoring, yeah, you wanted to synthetic monitoring, yeah, you wanted to do log monitoring. Everything that Dynatrace will give you, every yeah, in terms of cloud monitoring, right? So everything that Dynatrace will give you, so all kind of flavors. Okay, so Dynatrace is a software intelligence company that providing your APM suites, okay, like application performance management suites with help of artificial intelligence for operations, that is a call AIOps, okay, cloud infrastructure monitoring, digital experience like user session part, right, and with the product for the information technology, and digital one medium. So when you have a large business environment, technology in departments, right? You can use this product. Okay. And this company service include performance management software program running on premises and cloud. So this service, right, that Dynatrace that provides, right, it provides both flavors, either on premise, yes, SaaS. So they have two types of flavors. So some of the tools has only SaaS, right? Some of the tools has SaaS and on-prem also. Okay, so Dynatrace provide both the suites. Either you go with a SaaS model if you wanted to have, yeah, you wanted to go on-prem model. So when we required on-prem and when we required SaaS, you will be knowing that, right? When your data is very secure, it should be within the firewall, okay, within the network. Then you should go with on-prem. If your data you can move from one boundary to another boundary, one firewall to another firewall, right? Because Dynatrace SaaS is that side, right? And your application is left that side. So when you wanted to have that and you are not that much secure about data, then if you can pass the data from one network to another network, so then you can go with the SaaS model also, right? So this software manage availability and performance of your software application and the impact on the user experience from the deep transaction tracing, synthetic monitoring, and real-time network monitoring. Okay, so this software, right? So Dynatrace is a software, okay, that manage availability and performance of your applications. If there is any impact on the user side, in the form of, so you, if there is an impact, okay, so you can do the deep transaction tracing, understand that where is the root cause with the help of, yeah, through synthetic monitoring, through real user monitoring, and network monitoring. Okay, so is that clear? What is APM and why it is required?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Now, so let's go with SaaS architecture. So I am not going with this architecture. Let me draw so you can get a easily understanding. So let's go with SaaS architecture. Okay. So Dynatrace has a two flavors. Okay. One is on-prem and one is SaaS. Okay. So SaaS, if it is a SaaS, then definitely so see, either SaaS or managed, Dynatrace server will be there. Okay. So suppose this is your Dynatrace server. We'll discuss about Dynatrace server components. You consider this is your Dynatrace server. Dynatrace server. Bear with me for my handwriting. Okay. So this is your Dynatrace cloud, right? Say yes or no. Because the SaaS, right? So Dynatrace server will be running on where? Dynatrace cloud
Cloud.
environment. Dynatrace cloud, right? Don't say that cloud. If it is a SaaS, either you take a Datadog, yeah, you take a New Relic. So anything, right? There will be a server, New Relic server. So you deployed you are logged into the portal, right? So definitely there will backend, there will be a server. It will be running on that cloud, their cloud, not your cloud. Suppose you are working on X company and you are using any SaaS account, just you are logged into that portal, right? You don't know where server exists, all those things. But definitely there will be server, somebody will managing it, right? So because it is for you, it is a SaaS, okay? But someone providing the managed service for them, right? So this Dynatrace server is supporting by Dynatrace. So it is running on Dynatrace cloud. Okay. Now we have OneAgent. So OneAgent will be your baby. Okay, so when OneAgent you are installing on your server based on your OS. Guys, OneAgent, remember. So this is, you don't think about Java application, yeah, .NET application, yeah, Node.js, yeah, Python, yeah, other application, yeah, any standalone application. Don't think about it. You think about it. This application running on which server? Okay, this app running on which server? Which either a Linux server or Windows server, yeah, AX server, yeah, Solaris server, yeah, mainframe, right? So you need to understand. So this agent is OS perspective, operating system perspective. not like your application processes. Some other monitoring tools, if you don't compare, right? Like we have a app agent for Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, right? Don't think about it. This agent, this small Choto, is like your OS perspective. So this is your Linux OS, this is your Windows OS, this is your AIX, this is your Solaris. Okay, and then we have platform. Okay, like EKS, AKS, Imagine Fargate, GKE, OCP. Okay, their deployment step is a little different. Okay, so is a normal VM. You think of it, the what kind of OS it is. So if you select that this is a Linux OS, you select that Linux agent. If it's a Windows, you select that Windows agent. Okay, so this small agent will be installed on all the host machine. Okay, and it will start sending a data to Dynatrace server via port 443. Till here, any doubt? Any doubt?
Yeah, it's clear.
It's clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now, so once you got the data on your Dynatrace server, it should visualize, right? It should be visualized somewhere. It should be visualized, correct? So through Dynatrace server, we have connected Dynatrace web UI that you are logged right? Dynatrace portal, you are logged correct? SaaS means what? You will give your email ID and password, you log in, right? Account ID and password you give, you logged in, right? And there you are seeing that all the application, host machine, services, database, all those things, AKS cluster, EKS cluster, right? So that you are seeing that is called web UI. Okay, so that also it is sending from, so it will connect this web UI, it will connect to your Dynatrace server via port 443. Okay, now there is a mission control. Did anyone heard about this mission control? Okay, so mission control is also a part of a Dynatrace component, but it always run on Dynatrace cloud. Always means either you are using Dynatrace SaaS, yeah, manage, it should run on Dynatrace environment. Why? Because mission control, their task is to check license validation. And second is upgrades, like OneAgent upgrades. Yeah, Dynatrace has an additional component that we'll discuss in next architecture that upgrades. Dynatrace server backend, it will get upgrade, right? So that will taken care by mission control. And third is health check. It should be all your healthy, right? When after you are became 40 years old, you're 50, right? Every month, yeah, every 6 months, right? You are going for a health checkup, right? Everything is fine. Your body is functioning fine, right? Same way. So all those things are working fine or not. So they will do health checkup. So that also it will be done via port 443 only. So port is very rememberable. You can remember it. Okay. There is no multiple port. And there is a concept is called API. So through REST API, okay, via port 443, you can fetch the data. Yeah, you can insert the data. Yeah, you can delete the data from Dynatrace server. Like suppose you want to, that's what I talk about in the introduction, right? You want to insert some data on Dynatrace server, so web UI it will be visible. Suppose you want to insert application configuration via API. So you insert that application and done. So it will be visible on Dynatrace portal. You want to take out something, you want to delete some data, right? So all the data will get inserted where? Dynatrace server, right? Just to think is a database, right? And you are seeing the data on web UI. Suppose you are logging in the portal, right? You are giving the user ID and password. Somewhere it is fetching from your database, right? Are you able to understand me? Suppose you log into banking website and you want to transfer some money, right? So what you are doing? You're giving that user ID and password and you logged in, right? So that information is where it is stored in the database, right? If in the database that record got deleted, are you able to log in? No. Say yes or no.
No.
No, you can't log in. The same way, all the data will get stored on Dynatrace server. So if you want to take out some data, you want to add some data, you want to fetch some data, you want to some update your data, right? That you can do through API also. That also via port is 443. Is that clear? Architecture is clear. Any doubt, guys?
Yes,
So,
it's clear.
yeah. So what is the part of like database running on that Dynatrace servers?
So that we'll discuss. Dynatrace server has a components. We'll discuss
Hmm.
now. Okay. So
Yeah.
Dynatrace has a Cassandra Hypercube database.
Okay.
Okay. So they have a Dynatrace server made of 5 components. So now this architecture is clear now.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I
yeah,
want question. Can we add logs with API?
no log you can't do through API.
Okay.
No. So all the data, right? So log you can't do through API, but other things like you want to create application, you want to fetch some application information, you want to fetch some synthetic information, you want to fetch some SLO information, right? You want to fetch a list of problems got occurred in last 10 days,
Okay.
right? Sometimes,
Right.
right? So just to think, like you just to think as a layman, as you are the owner of this application, and you say that, hey, my application whether it's performing well or not, can you send me the list of problems got occurred in last 1 month, right? You can ask your
Yeah.
employee, right? So what they will do, they cannot go and filter the 30 days and control C and control V in the Excel. They can't do that, right? Now it is very flexible. So what they will do, they will take the API, problem API, give the dates, time frame. Okay, I wanted to have from January, so 1st January to 31st January, right? They will give the time. They filter some application for which application you wanted to have, and they will generate. So report get generated. You got some JSON file. JSON file you can map it to your Excel. You can map to your Excel. You will get all the data. Do some fancy like color coding, all those things, and send it. So it will take 10 minutes. Correct. But
Okay.
if they wanted to do Control C and Control V, suppose in last 1 month there is a 500 records, problems got occurred for one application, it will take it will take a 1 week or two to send a report. Is that correct? So,
Okay, it's correct.
so that is the way API is very helpful now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, suppose you wanted to understand. So Dynatrace server made of 5 components. Dynatrace server made of 5 components. Made of 5 components. Okay. First one is Dynatrace server. Second one is embedded ActiveGate. Third one is Cassandra Hypercube database. This is the time series database. Okay. Fourth one is NGINX web server. Web server. And fifth one is Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch. Okay. So when you go for an interview, right? Some of the interviewer, they might ask you like, what is Dynatrace server made of? How many components? If you can elaborate a little bit, right? So these are the components we have. Okay. So you can understand that it's to run on your server URL, right? It required some web server. So it's running on Nginx web server. Required have a time series database. So it required a database. It required. So we are using Cassandra Hypercube, but I am not sure. I've never worked on a Hypercube database. Okay, so we have ActiveGate, we have a Dynatrace server, and Elasticsearch. You know that, right? You want to document anything you want to do something, and you can do something. So Elasticsearch is very helpful for all those things configuration, right? So this made of components we have for Dynatrace server. So they build together, and they will give you some installation command you can install, right? So when you do the on-prem. Okay, so on-prem we have that steps like how you can install it, right? All those things I will show you that. Okay, Now let's go with one deeper. Is that clear? That Dynatrace server components.
Yes.
Okay. Now you wanted to have some deeper architecture on Dynatrace SaaS, right? Now we did some basic architecture. Okay? Now we have one. Now this is your Dynatrace server. Okay. We have a OneAgent. We have mission control. Mission control. Okay. Like this I'm putting because the part of Dynatrace always running on Dynatrace. Now there is an additional component is called environment ActiveGate. Suppose this is your additional component. That name is environment ActiveGate. Okay. So environment ActiveGate, why it is required? So environment ActiveGate to do, like, you don't want to send data directly to Dynatrace server. Okay. Like you don't want to send data directly to Dynatrace server. You want to add some proxy, right? So it will send to ActiveGate server, and ActiveGate server will send the data to. So this is an ActiveGate server, so you called AG, and it will send. Okay, so OneAgent to ActiveGate, the port is 9999, and ActiveGate to Dynatrace server 443. So this can be, so ActiveGate can be used for multiple purpose. Okay, so we have in different modules for environment ActiveGate. Okay, like you can use environment one module for synthetic private location that we'll discuss later. One module we have for cloud monitoring, cloud integration, database extension, all those things. One module we have for mainframe applications, right? So we have a different modules for environment ActiveGate installation. Suppose you wanted to, so total we have a 3 modules for environment ActiveGate installation. If you wanted to have all the 3 modules in place in your environment, you must have a 3 dedicated VMs. Okay. How many VMs? 3 VMs is required. Minimum configuration is 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM. Okay, I think 5 or 6 GB it will take to install the ActiveGate. But for what purpose you are doing, right? You wanted to store some memory dump on your ActiveGate server. Then you show how many memory dump you are taking per day. Based on that, you can calculate and you can put. So storage it will be a little dynamic. Okay, based on your requirement for what purpose you are using that. Okay, suppose you are using in synthetic private location, you are using how many APIs you are running from the private location. So that little bit understanding is required. Like suppose you wanted to have, you are running 100 APIs, okay, 100 URLs you are monitoring, and you are monitoring your own location. You have configured your own because it's the internal APIs. Okay, just to think like we have a 2 API. One is public facing URL, one is internal URLs. Like internal URLs means like your company's APIs, right? Company URLs, all those internal URLs. You cannot log in outside of the network, right? Through. So suppose you wanted to, that kind of URL, you wanted to monitor that, right? So what will happen? You cannot run from the public location, right? Dynatrace provides some public location. You can't run that, so you should have a private location. So private location, for to configure the private location, again environment ActiveGate is required, right? So that is a little dynamic. This ActiveGate storage part. Why? Because even 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM is minimum. But however, you can increase the size. Why? Because when you have the requirement, like when you have multiple APIs, like more than 100 APIs, so that also when you hit that, right, some temporary space, all those things will get logs, all those things get full, right? Full. So make sure that you should not like have some performance issues. So you make sure that you should have enough RAM size, all those things, so it should not consume more CPU, all those things. That is the reason you can, this configuration should be little dynamic. You can go with that. Okay, is that clear? And then we have a APIs, all those things similar. So what is happening here is we have a ActiveGate, okay, between OneAgent to Dynatrace server. Okay, still I'm talking about SaaS only. Okay, so SaaS has only one additional component, that is called environment ActiveGate. Okay, and this, just to think, this is the middle of OneAgent and Dynatrace server, and you can utilize that ActiveGate for various roles, various purpose. Like you wanted to do you wanted to store a memory dump, environment ActiveGate is required. You wanted to have integration with clouds like AWS, Azure, GKE, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, VMware. Your environment ActiveGates is required. You develop some plugins. You want to, like, you wrote some Python script and you are fetching the data, right? You are inserting some monitoring, metrics, right? So that, for that also environment ActiveGates is required. Then for database insight also environment ActiveGate is there. There are a lot of things you can you required environment ActiveGate. For synthetic private location also environment ActiveGate is required. So it will be a middle, okay, from OneAgent to Dynatrace server, and there is a 3 modules for install a ActiveGate, okay. So we have multiple. So for one module we have for cloud monitoring, all those things. One module we have for synthetic private location, and one module we have for mainframe, okay. So this environment ActiveGate you can utilize for multiple purposes. It will act as a load balancer also. It will act as a proxy also. And which module you want, right? Based on that, you can enable, disable. Okay. Suppose you want to have only AWS module enabled, you can enable only AWS module. Remaining part you can disable it. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So SaaS has only one addition that you remember. SaaS has only one additional component we have, that is called environment ActiveGate. And environment ActiveGate can be installed for, they have 3 modules and it can be used for various purposes. Okay. Like you can tell the database insight, you can tell that synthetic private location, you can tell that cloud monitoring, you can tell mainframe. Then you can you can store some memory dump. Okay. So this too. So now I'm going with this architecture. Now you can see little bit clear, right? OneAgent got installed on machine. Okay. Yeah, container. Directly it will connect to Dynatrace server. You can see the data in web UI. All the port is 443. You see here. So agent is installed on the host. This is the host. Consider. And it will goes to where? Connect where? Directly where? Dynatrace SaaS cluster. Say yes or no. Now
Yes.
you are seeing the data to Dynatrace web portal. Now another part, host agent is got installed, but it is connecting to talking to environment ActiveGate first. Okay, and then environment ActiveGate is fetching to Dynatrace cluster via port 443, and you are seeing the data in Dynatrace web portal. Same way also, so environment ActiveGate is recommended. Okay, you can use that. So what is the environment active? Where when environment ActiveGate is needed? Consolidation and compression of OneAgent traffic. You don't want to send directly data to Dynatrace SaaS cluster. You want to consolidate and compress that OneAgent traffic. For that, you can utilize. Then enterprise cloud platform integration like vCenter, Kubernetes, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, AWS, Azure, GKE. Okay, you can utilize. Some plugins here, database insight you have developed. Private synthetic location, memory dump. For that, required in environment ActiveGate. Okay, is that clear? Dynatrace SaaS architecture. Any doubt?
Yes.
No. Okay,
No.
thank you. Now, this is the firewall configuration that already we discussed, that port 443 is required. It is required TCP, HTTP SSL connection. Make sure that to install OneAgent, you should have a root access. Okay. So Dynatrace agent installation requirement is it can be installed everywhere. Okay. So now nobody is using 2008 to 2008, 2012 servers. Okay. Still it is supporting. Okay. RHEL 5.4 nobody is using now. Now RHEL 6 and all, they are uh, obsolete version of that OS, right? So maybe now RHEL 7, 8, 9 is also coming in the market, right? Ubuntu for Windows, like now people are using 2016, 19, 2022 also came to the market. Okay, so that older version also supporting. If once upon a time, like you have some kind of old VM, right? Old VM like RHEL 5.46 something, right? Check it whether latest Dynatrace documentation. Why I'm telling you now, I have took it. Okay, now suppose after 3 months you have a requirement and Dynatrace does not support, then you'll say that no, from that training they got a bad information something. So this kind of part you go with Dynatrace documentation page, check it. Now whether it is supporting, because they keep on updating, they keep on adding, keep on removing, correct? So better for this part, whether this OS is supported and that OS is not supported, you go with Dynatrace proper documentation page and check it, whether Dynatrace this page is this type of OS is supported or not. So if you go with search Dynatrace support supported technology. Okay, so if you go with that documentation, you can able to come to know that see all the information you have that. So you check control F you do, and you check it like you want to do some mainframe, right? So you take that, okay, mainframe operating system version it is giving. Now suppose they remove that 2.3 and I have added my PPT. So better you go with that, right? So they keep on adding. So they have Windows Server, I took it 2008 or 2012, but they have removed that 2008 or something. In that case, you go and check with. So I'm pinging this documentation just to bookmark it. Okay, is that sufficient, guys? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so discussing much on this. Now let's go to the manage architecture. Okay, so manage architecture. Now you understand Dynatrace manage has two components. Okay, one is environment ActiveGate and one is cluster active. Okay, OneAgent always installed on host machine. So wherever you have a host, you go and install the agent. Okay. Now, once you install the agent, you see here some of the data is coming to environment ActiveGate. All the data is coming to environment ActiveGate. Environment ActiveGate, some information going to cluster and some information directly talking to Dynatrace cluster, right? Cluster ActiveGate and managed cluster both are different. Okay? Don't think both are one part, one single. No, and this is the different component. This is your Dynatrace server. Okay, this is how it will become a cluster is according to round robin process. It will become a cluster, right? So we have a multiple nodes. You can have that. So one node is down, another node is there to serve your monitoring, right? So cluster ActiveGate and environment. Environment ActiveGate already we understood what are the purpose, but cluster ActiveGate little different. When you have agentless RAM, right? You want to you have application, right? Agentless application, you know that, right? Lambda kind of something that there is no server. Have you seen any kind of application, guys? There is no server. Okay, like you are installing, you are deploying or something. They have a Lambda service used to call. So that kind of applications we have, you have that. Okay, you write a code, deploy it there itself, connect to that database, connect to that. So there will be a flow, right, in the Lambda service, correct? So if you wanted to have that kind of application and you wanted to monitor their RAM information, like user part, like who logged in, who facing a problem, what is that user ID, what are the transactions he has done, everything, right? You wanted to monitor that. Cluster ActiveGate is required. Now you have a mobile app, like you are working on bank. That bank has a both app, Android app and iOS app, right? And you wanted to monitor that Android app in iOS app, that user part, yeah, that RAM, mobile RAM user part. In that case, cluster ActiveGate is required. Okay, and some synthetic monitoring also that you can do that cluster ActiveGate, and OneAgent also you can do something on the cluster ActiveGate. Okay, so both it can be done. Okay, OneAgent directly also can talk to cluster ActiveGate, and OneAgent directly also talk to environment ActiveGate, and environment ActiveGate talk to cluster ActiveGate, and cluster ActiveGate talk to managed cluster. Okay, so it's little, when you work on, then you will come to know that. Okay, but so you can understand that cluster ActiveGate, like when you deploy Dynatrace managed cluster, you think whether we have any kind of agentless RAM, like where we don't server exist and we have some application, yeah, you wanted to have a mobile RAM, that and all. When you have this requirement, then you only install cluster ActiveGate. Either you can go with the environment ActiveGate, because the environment ActiveGate is work for multiple purpose, right? And definitely you need it, like you wanted to do some load balancing, compression of traffic. Yeah, you wanted to take a memory dump. These are the basic requirement part of monitoring, right? So definitely your environment ActiveGate is needed, but not sure for every organization cluster ActiveGate is needed. Okay, because some of the application environment they have a normal application Java.NET, right? But they do not have agentless RAM, they do not have mobile RAM. Then we don't need cluster ActiveGate, right? So we can remove that, take it out, and you can go with environment ActiveGate, and you can go with, it will connect to your Dynatrace cluster. Okay. So when you install Dynatrace server, right, on your VM, right? So Dynatrace VM on the on-prem, when you install Dynatrace, it support only Linux family. It support only Linux family. Either you can go with Red Hat, Amazon Linux, yeah, Ubuntu, yeah, CentOS, all those things, yeah, Sushi Linux, but it does not support Windows family. Okay, so Dynatrace server can be installed only on Linux server. Okay, when you install Dynatrace server, first you will get a portal is called CMC portal. CMC stands for Cluster Management Console portal. So Dynatrace SaaS has only one portal. Dynatrace, write it. Dynatrace SaaS has only one portal, that is called Web UI. Correct? The Dynatrace portal you call it. But Dynatrace Manage has a two portal. One is CMC portal and second is Web UI. Means Dynatrace portal. CMC stands for Cluster Management Console portal. Either you can say admin portal, something, management console portal. And third, Web UI is your Dynatrace portal. Is that clear, guys? Okay.
Yes.
So we have a cluster. So I will show you that CMC portal. 1 second. So let me know a little bit visible for you. So these are the commands that Dynatrace will give you when you purchase, right? Dynatrace SaaS manage, they'll give you some installation steps. Okay, everything. Okay, like step by step. Either 10th standard or candidate also can install if they have the VMs. Okay, like a step by step, everything they'll give you in the prerequisites. So no need to go this. Once it is get installed, yeah, I'll send you this document also for everyone, all the documentation. So you see all the configuration they will checking. Once you get installed, so you see here, what is telling Dynatrace server installed, successfully installed. You give the production name, administration, like it's kind of admin portal, right? So admin, first name, last name, email ID, all those things you can mention. Once you mention all those things, right, it will open your cluster portal. You can see Dynatrace manage deployment status, how many node we have, how many host unit we have, how many synthetic license we have, right? A backup is enabled, any users, you have done any SSO integration, the LDAP integration is done or not, mission control, license is active. Okay, so all those things it will be here. See, enter the cluster ActiveGate. So cluster, once you install the cluster ActiveGate, right? So this is kind of management portal. So CMC is kind of management portal where you can see your license part. What you can see? License part, integration like SSO, yeah, LDAP integration you wanted to do. Yeah, you wanted to take a backup, right? Then you wanted to take audit logs. Audit logs, you know that, right? Something you did, and then they will check the audit logs, right? Like who, suppose you joined and by mistake you deleted something, right? So then they will check, right, who has deleted this one, who has changed this configuration. So it will capture in the audit log. So all this kind of admin stuffs, right? License, money things, all those things, user creation also, everything it will be done on your CMC portal. Okay, is that clear, guys? And then we have a Dynatrace portal, all the admin stuff like agent installation, application, dashboard, alert profile, all those things you can do through Dynatrace web portal. But in SaaS, everything it is on Dynatrace portal, web UI itself. Because you are managing the server, that is the reason they have given the two portals. One is cluster management console and one is web UI. But SaaS, you are using manage, but SaaS, we have only one portal, okay? Because all the SMTP servers, everything, right? It will be running on their environment. Just you give that integration, right? You give that SMTP username, password, all those things you give that, it will connect to you. Yeah, you wanted to do SSO, all those things, you give the domain name, all those things, it will connect that, right? But that's how it will running, right? It is a part of your baby, so everything you should take care, right? That is the reason they have a two portals. Is that clear?
Yes.
Rakesh, anyone? Any dot?
Yeah, where we see a mission controlling.
So mission control is always run on Dynatrace portal, Dynatrace side. Okay, you can't see mission control, but you while installing Dynatrace server, you can see mission control. Let me show you that. See, testing connection to Dynatrace mission control, right? So you can't see that mission control because it's running on always Dynatrace. But while installing, right, you can see that there will be a one verifying testing connection, right? Because your Dynatrace and mission control should be connected. Then only they can check your license part, health check, upgrades, right? How you are getting a notification in your mobile. Hey, iOS upgrade is available. Hey, Android upgrade is available. You are getting a notification, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so how you are getting a notification? Means your OS, right? Android OS that has some unique ID. Okay, when they're publishing to that, adding to your device, right? That ID is connected with somewhere. So whenever they release a new release, you are getting a notification. iOS upgrade is available. Update is available. You wish your wish when you wanted to upgrade it. Correct, but you are getting a notification, right? So same way here also OneAgent upgrade, yeah, health check, yeah, something, right? Something got broken, yeah, not working. So yeah, license, it is connect with mission controls. That the mission control, their task only is to check the license 24/7, keep on eyes. Then upgrades, whenever they post a new release, you will get a notified, okay, as the event notification, like, hey, OneAgent upgrade is available, hey, this upgrade is available. And then we are getting a health check. So whether it is good, bad, all those things, connectivity, all those things. Is that clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Just
Okay.
one question. Mission console is the support if we have an issue in our Dynatrace server.
Yeah. So mission control is checking the connectivity to Dynatrace server. Okay. So because mission control always install on Dynatrace cloud, Dynatrace part. Suppose, see, there is a two part, right? Suppose, let me see, write it here. Suppose you take a manage, yes, as one is your Dynatrace portal. So suppose this is your customer environment. This is your Dynatrace. You think this is a firewall. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Dynatrace portal is here. Either SaaS or managed portal is here. Your Dynatrace portal, where you log in, username, password. Okay. But mission control will be here. Always run on here. So whenever this portal has upgrade is required, either OneAgent, yeah, ActiveGate, yeah, anything, right? It will send. So it will. So Dynatrace will push here. This will send a notification. Are you getting my point? Suppose you are using manage. So manage, your Dynatrace server will be here. Your portal will be also here, the same part, customer part, right? But mission control will be here. So it will check the connectivity.
Okay.
Say yes or no.
Yes.
It will check the connectivity. So that is the reason in the document what it is saying. testing the connectivity to Dynatrace mission control, verifying connectivity is okay. So on other thing for disk and all, they are verifying the disk space in your system, in your server, whether this much disk is available or not for install that Dynatrace server. But for this one, for mission control, they are checking the connectivity, right? How you are doing the connectivity, whether that server is reachable or not. What you are doing as a layman, either you are checking, doing a telnet, yapping, correct? Suppose I wanted to check within the same network whether that server is reachable or not, right? What you are doing? Telnet IP port, yeah, ping IP you are giving. Some of the server ping is enabled, then you can do the ping. Yeah, you can do the telnet. For Linux, you can do the telnet, and Windows, you can do the ping, right? So you can do checking, and you can checking that same way. They're doing the testing connection whether this server is reachable or not. So connectivity is there. There's not be any firewall or something blockage. If there is any blockage, then they'll ask you, okay, so enable this port. It will fail over here. So that is the reason in the prerequisites you need to read all the documentation and then you go for installation. So for checking all those things, right? In the installation steps, like with all the commands, with the prerequisites command also, they'll give you one PDF. They'll send you one PDF with like 4 or 5 page of PDF. You first they will check you the prerequisites, what are the commands you should run, what are the outputs should come. Everything it is mentioned in that documentation. In that documentation, when you get the installation step of Dynatrace server. Okay.
Okay.
So like nothing you need to do copy paste. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll send this documentation.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So now you see this. This is a Dynatrace hardware specification. Okay. So we have a different types of node type. Okay. We have a micro, we have a small, we have a medium, we have a large, and we have a X large. Okay. Based on that OS. Okay. Suppose you have a requirement to enable Dynatrace. Okay. And you have maximum 50 agent. Maximum you should have 50 agent, yeah, 40, 100. Based on that, you can suggest your infra, right? When you do the architecturing, right? And then architecturing is done, then when you buying a license, right? So you should have something in your mind, right? How many applications wanted to onboard, all those things, right? You have something in mind, some figure. So you come to know that, okay, we purchase a license for 100 servers. You purchase a license for 200, yeah, 300 servers. 50 applications, this many servers, all those things, right? So based on that, you should prepare an infra, right? So for that, how many agents you wanted to install, based on that, they have given the infra. So if you have a 300 agents, then VM is required 8 virtual CPU and 64 GB of RAM and 3000 disk IOPS per node. And then transaction storage is required for code 10 days code visibility, 300 GB, 500 GB for long-term metric storage. Then Elasticsearch per node is required. For this many configurations is required. Now suppose you have a 600 agent. Sorry, if you have a 600 agent, then in that case you required 16 virtual CPU, 128 GB of RAM, this many disk space, 600 GB, all those things. Okay. So the same way, this we have the hardware specification. Okay. You go with proper documentation page. Okay. Because they are keep on changing. So data I took it recently, but anyway, let me show you that. So just you go Dynatrace hardware specification. Search it. You can see same thing I took it, but you have the documentation, so you can read the documentation if something got changed or got altered. Okay, so this is your documentation page. So you can go with this documentation. Okay, and so you can, based on that, you can understand it, like what kind of OS is required based on your requirement. Is that correct? Is that okay for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like normal. So when you go and buying a mobile, right, you need, right, how many photos we have, or what kind of requirement you have. Based on that you are purchasing, right? I should have 128 GB, I should have 256 GB, I should have 512 GB, right, of the storage, how much mobile you are using. Based on that you are buying a RAM size, all those things, right? Based on same way. So once you purchase a license, based on that you need to think, and you should think future also, right? When you purchase, right, you think you have at least 2 years of plan, correct? Right? Okay, at least for 2 years, this many uses is required. So based on that, I should buy a 20,000 of mobiles, or 30,000 of mobiles, something, right? So based on that, even you are buying a laptop based on the requirement, right? You are buying. You are not going buying a $5,000 or $10,000. You are buying a laptop based on your use case, right? If you have a high number of use case, you go with robust. If not, like rarely you are using, then you can go with basic, right? So that depends. When you have the requirement, based on that you should fluctuate. So same way, hardware also, based on that license you have purchased, based on that only you need to set up the infra. But make sure that when you are doing architecting, right, when you are doing architecting, you always focus on present with future, because then only your infra will grow, right? Everything will grow, right? So now today you have set up 100 application, that 5 application running on 100 servers, and it got very reliable, very helpful, very useful, all those things. Then later on, what you will do? Maybe another application team also, they'll come to you, right? Hey, can we have my monitoring also in the Dynatrace? So why not? Okay, then they will fill your template, all those things, and you can add your license purchase. But again, you need to increase your hardware size. It will take a lot of approval from procurement team. So better you keep little buffer for future also. Okay, when you are doing architecting stuff. So now, so you will be knowing that why Dynatrace is needed. So Dynatrace has these are the slide I will share. So you need that, right? So Dynatrace has the AI capability. Okay, that name is the Davis AI. You can do the continuous automations, and with the help of Dynatrace intelligent observability. So Dynatrace will give you that complete root cause, the very advanced level. Okay, cross team collaboration. So earlier what is happening is, whenever issue got occurred, right, what is happening, development team, they're telling on operation will network will go performance, there will be a, so now something is called, so we can work together, right? So DevOps team also can utilize, operation team also can use, performance team also can use. So they can rely only on one tools. Okay, so it will increase your empower of your organization. Okay, and user experience and business analysis, when you can do some management stuff, right? Management, what you need, they need a business, right? Either your application is running on daily 4 hours, yeah, 5 hours down, I don't care, but they need a money, right? So then only it will get a generate a revenue and you will get a salary, right? If there is no business, nothing, then what will happen? You may lose your job. Okay, so so user experience is also part of very journey. So to understand that business, so through that, what they need, some dashboard, some reports, right? So in that case, what is, how many sales was occurred, how many purchase got occurred, how many insurance got in last 7 days, how many money we receive, right? These are the things, right? That flow, right? So through that user behavior analytics, experience and behavior analytics, you can prepare a vibrant dashboards, you can prepare a report, all those things you can do that. Okay. So these are the part of monitoring, right? So you can understand that. So you can see through Dynatrace, you can do a lot of things. Traces, metric, log, topology, behaviors. You can do the code analytics, metadata config network, API, open telemetry. Captain is an open source project. Anyone can, so it will be complete automated. It's supported 500 technology, and it support on the cloud side, hybrid cloud side, like Kubernetes, OpenShift, AWS, Azure, GCP, enterprise, hybrid cloud. They're providing a lot of things. Okay, so these are the part you can read that. Okay, so this is not like you should be, but most of the things it does support. Okay, like anything you ask, Dynatrace will support. Okay, so this is we used to call a smart escape topology. So a smart escape topology we'll discuss in depth also, but this topology will give you that complete understanding of your problem. When any problem got occurred, how many user got impacted, how to automate this problem, how many service call impacted, which applications got impacted, what is the root cause, what is the response, everything they'll give you in that steps. So you can understand that where is the problem. Okay. So like you should be knowing how to drill down. Okay. Everything that all the minds, right, that you are thinking, right, earlier what is happening, you are thinking maybe there issue on that side, this is up, that is down, something you are doing the permutation combination, right? Nowadays all the permutation combination it will be done by Dynatrace AI, and they'll give you that root cause. Okay. So they'll give you the root cause. So just you need to drill down. That's it. Okay. You need to drill down and you can understand that. So you can understand that there is a problem. That's it. Okay. This you can see that, right? Precise root cause explained. Right? Check destination. We have the deployment change, and after deployment, the response time degradation was happened. Okay? Because of that reason, 276 user got impacted, and this many service call got impacted. Right? So they have a bad code. Correct. And the service name is check destination. They have the deployment, right? I think one guy told me, right, I was doing a par 5 years, 6 years, I was doing the code deployment, right? So they have done the code deployment. So deployment got changed. Then I for check destination service, and then whatever the code, it was written a bad code. So because of that region, slowness got occurred in the application, and 276 user got impacted. This many service call got impacted, and so this is the visual resolution path, so you can understand. Okay. So that will discuss that smart script topology in depth. There's a lot of things. We have a dotted line, full complete lines, all those things. So you can understand that. Okay. So actionable answer, not just data. Okay. So Dynatrace will give you the answer of centric platform with AI. So Dynatrace has the AI at the core, and which gives you the precise root cause. Okay. And with the anomaly detection, business impact without the need to manually review the chart and graphs. With Datadog, you have a lot. So they're comparing with other tools like for Datadog. They have a lot of data. Even Datadog also provide a lot of data, but you will need to find the answers. You need to think of, you have all the data now. I'll search you that you search the data, which data you need, right? But Dynatrace will give which data you need. I will give you. You should not worry about it. So Dynatrace has a AI. Okay, that name is Davis AI. Okay. So these are the things, advanced observability with the context. Dynatrace provides observability across the metrics, logs, and traces with a single platform, but goes to beyond that what digital experience, business analytics, and code level details. Even the code level, even I can see your class, all those things. Okay, and with an understanding how everything is related to in your complex and dynamic environment. Okay, so this is called visual resolution path. So you can understand that from top to bottom, bottom to top, what is the root cause. Okay. These are the dashboard. You can prepare that vibrant dashboard. This is the detailed page of cloud environments. Okay, Dockers, AKS, all those things you can do that. Okay, so this is the basic. These are the largest enterprise around the world. They are using Dynatrace. Okay, like you can say any of the company that is very big fish. Okay, we used to call big fish, right? So all the company that are utilizing a Dynatrace. Okay, like either you can take a BMW, yeah, Carnival, Air Canada, Citrix, Mercedes, Daimler, Dish, Autodesk, all those Samsung, Yahoo, Virgin Mobile, yeah, Bell Canada, Porsche. Everyone is using Dynatrace. Walmart, T-Mobile, all are there using Dynatrace. Okay, more than that, this is just I took a screenshot. So this is they're using a Dynatrace. Okay, and Dynatrace is a leader now. This is a very old, but Dynatrace is a leader now. Okay, in 2023. Okay, according to the Gartner. Okay, so any dot till here?
Yes, it's clear.
It's
Yeah.
clear, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a break for 15 minutes. Okay, we'll go slowly today. Why? Because you can go, you can have your breakfast, all those things. We'll back at 11. Okay. Then we'll take 11 to 11:30. 11:30 to 12 we have 11:30 to 12. Okay, we'll have a break. Then 12 to 2 have okay, and 2 to 2:30 we'll have a lunch break, and then 3 to 6. Okay, so I'll give you all the initial break before itself. Okay, you'll be a bit confident. Okay, is that clear?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is, now I'm taking a VM to install my application. Then we'll take a Dynatrace SaaS trial, and then we'll install the agent and we'll do all the configuration. When you guys have access to the Dynatrace portal, okay, for 3 days, you can go, you can see how the configuration is, all those things. Okay, so let me set up on the VM step by steps. So hope everyone has taken a leave today.
Yes.
So this is my EG travel application. Okay, I'll take Amazon Linux 64-bit. It is required little higher versions. Need for virtual CPU, 16 GB RAM. Create a default. Okay. Prepare. Yeah. Again. The recording is started, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi, we can see on top.
Okay. Sometimes I forget to start that. So to log into server, EC2-user, the username for Amazon Linux. You can take that EG-travel app file. Okay. So this is the, we can have a several tools like Putty you can use, yeah, Move Extra, any tools you can use it. Okay. So now I have logged in. So to become a root user, sudo su. Let me create a directory mkd. Let me first pm update -y. Okay, nothing to update. Let me create a mkdir apps ls cd apps. Okay. Now let me install Java. So what is the command to install Java? Install Java on Amazon Linux EC2 server. So we are installing Java on Amazon Linux. Okay, so we required either Java 11 or Java 8. This is the command you can. Okay, so Java is installed. Now I should have easy travel, right? So just to go download easy travel application. So Dynatrace has developed one application is called easy travel. So whenever you do some POC or something, right, make sure that you are doing on this easy travel. Even your company is giving you the development environment something, you can go for it. Okay. Otherwise, if they are asking to take open source application, then you go with easy travel application. So I'm taking easy travel to 64-bit Linux and then copy link address, and you can go with wget. Okay. ls, we'll give the permission chmod. I'm giving the full permission. Otherwise, you can give 775 or 776, and this. Okay. Oh, chmod 777. Okay, ls. We have now to run this, right? Java -jar and file name. You can use this. So you can check it on the website also. Execute Java -jar and then file, right? Linux. So enter it. Yes. ls cd easy travel. Go to ls cd web launcher ls. We have / this sh file. We should run. We run it. Okay. So now we take a 8094. So we'll go with this. Copy this. You see my application is ready. It will run on the IP other local host. Yeah. So you can see my application is coming up slowly. This is the admin portal. Okay. So every application has some admin portal. I'm going with lightweight. Standard. Yeah, you can go with baseline demo. So these are we have a database, we have credit card authorization, we have a backend, we have a customer, we have a front end service, third party Apache running. So you can take anyone, okay? So you can go with a standard, regression, Black Friday, MongoDB messaging, all those things, whichever you want, right? You can run that. Start it. It will start automatically. It will take some time. So it is running. Started, right? So if you do that, localhost 8079, right? Copy this IP. It will not work on localhost because it's running on our server. Server is my localhost, right? So there, if I'll do curl, yeah, curl -i, yeah, curl -v, it will work. But on my laptop, it will not a localhost. So you can use IP port. So you can see my application is up. Okay, and see, you can see that you can do login. So for login, we have already users. We have this many user, you can log in. All those things. So this is my application, right? So hope you can understand, right? Is that clear for everyone? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so now I am taking a Dynatrace SaaS trial. So Dynatrace trial, let me check with my email. Login, whether I have anything, whether you can utilize it. NDT. Yeah, already got expired. Let me check. See, my account is already. They're asking meet account manager. Maybe later. Whether we have, I don't have any options to take a SaaS trial. Okay, here it's already expired. So let me sign out. Now I will go with my temp email. Because how many times you will create a email ID and you can take a SaaS trial, right? Because this will be valid for only how many days? 15 days. So you go with temp email. So just you go Dynatrace SaaS trial and you copy this, open your notepad. Okay. So go here, enter this. So what we can enter. Okay. Welcome @ 1 2 3 4. First name. So what is this? First name. Audio. Jobs field. Then other things is not required. Select yes. Okay. So this is my environment. You can see in the temp email, we got the email. Welcome to the Dynatrace. Click here. Access your environment. You can click here also. So you see, we got the portal, right? So let me give you the access for you guys also. You can you ping me your email ID in the chat window? So you can give the access, or you can give the access account setting. So even you can log in your site. Okay. Everyone can ping me. Invite user, email ID. If you have already access, okay, then you can use the for same email. If you have a Dynatrace trial you have taken it, then you should use same password. Okay. So make sure that you are using monitoring admin. Okay. You can do everything. I'll recommend you don't configure anything right away. Okay. But you can see that. Okay. Second, if you have not using this email ID for creating an account, like Dynatrace account, then you can create a new password. It will ask you to create a new password. If you have already using that, then you need to use existing credential. You may have received an email. Check your email either in the spam box. Yeah. Other guys, other folks, are you there? That's it. Okay, leave it. Now, so I will go to my environment. So here, okay, okay. So now let me go to my environment. So first, what I need to do to onboard this my application. To onboard this application, I should install Dynatrace OneAgent, right? So you can click on the deploy Dynatrace, start installation. Okay. Hope everyone is available, right? Okay. Linux. Then, so you can see here, we have all types of OS. Windows, Linux, AX, Solaris, and JDOS. So you can select that Linux. Okay. And we require a token to install to get the command, right? So you can directly create a token from here also. Yeah, you can click on the access token page. Okay. Click on the access page and you can generate a token. So we need a pass token, right? So we can give, this is my OneAgent. Okay. And expiry date I'm giving on 20th. Template we can take a pass, generate a token. So we can copy this token. So this token will be visible one time. So you can paste it here. So either two way. Either you directly create a token from here. Yeah, you create from here. Okay, and copy this token and put it for in your store, so you can utilize next time also. Okay, and already we have logged in. So let me open a duplicate tab. Close this one. We required sudo access, and we can install the agent. Okay, so we copy this. Go here, paste it, enter. Okay, then second, copy this, go here, paste it. Third, copy this, copy this, then restart the process that you want to. Okay, so we need to restart the process. So once it gets installed, I will restart the process. That's it. So now I will tell you the live scenario. Like sometimes now I have not blocked any firewall, any port is blocked. That is the reason we are directly able to connect, right? But for 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay. So now, so where I was. So in your corporate environment, right? So in your corporate environment, so agent is installed. So what I was trying to say is, in your corporate environment, what will happen is we required port 443 has to be open, right? OneAgent to Dynatrace server. Say yes or no, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you
Yes.
understand little bit why, because I'm telling in the corporate environment. Because now I have a sample POC environment. They have not blocked any port, all those things. Okay. But in your corporate environment, what will happen is corporate application, what will happen is your port is blocked. Only they will open for a specific URL for a specific port. Correct. So to open the port, so this is your OneAgent. And now you are sending OneAgent you install on the server. You are sending data to Dynatrace server. Then only you can see the data in web UI, right? Say yes or no. So this is your source. Say
Yes.
yes or no. This is your destination. So source is your server IP, correct?
Yeah.
So source, so when you open the port, right? So you need source to destination, which port you want to open, right? So for destination, you can use this many port, this many IP. Okay. To access Dynatrace at current location, please allow outgoing connection. So in outgoing connection, this many IP you should add. Then you should add, open that port, something like this. If you see the URL, this is your environment ID IOP 85080808508, correct? So this is your environment ID. So now you want to open the port, source to destination IP you got. So port 443, what you should, so you should whitelist this star.live.dynatrace.com. So any SaaS, star is your environment ID, will get changed. Remaining part it will be same. Okay. So what we used to whitelist, that you are in the whitelist, we are adding URL star.live.dynatrace.com. Okay. So we'll give this information. So they will open the port 443 from source to destination, and they'll give that name. So star.live. Even you can give your environment URL also. Okay. Which URL you wanted to open, you can give this still here to here. Okay. Either you want to keep as a regex pattern, then you can keep star.live.dynatrace.com. So this will consider as a, from 808 to HTTPS, it will consider as a star, then .live.dynatrace.com. Okay, so this is your SaaS URL. So you can whitelist it. Is that clear, guys? So now if you see, now agent is installed. So now if you see, if you go to your host page, all the host, you can see that. So now agent is installed. Now if I open that, what is asking to restart the process, right? Which process you want to monitor? So I need to, what is telling, that yellow symbol is telling to restart the process. Okay, you can see this process must be restarted. So all the yellow symbol you can see in the host page. So here we have, this area is called cockpit. Okay. So in the host page, what is telling? Restart the process. I should go to my application. Where is my application? Close it, everything. Okay. Control V, 8094 port. Control V, 8079. So to restart it, which one I took?
Apache.
No, lightweight we took, right? You remember which one I took? I think lightweight we took.
You take in production. Not this in production. You take a baseline demo.
Yeah, it is not coming now. Baseline demo. Yeah, now it
Yes.
actually it's taking time. Okay. So click here. Even you can do that, all the process you want to stop, right? You can do ps-ef grep. You take the process name, then you take that process, then you do that, then you take the process ID, you kill -9, you can do that, right? Exactly in the company, what you are doing to stop this, first you are searching the process to get the process ID, ps-ef pipe grep, and then process name, right? If you want to have Apache, you give Apache something. Then you get that process ID. Then you do kill -9, and then you process ID, you give process ID. It got killed. Done. Again, you are starting the process. Is that correct? Guys, say yes or no. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now it is running. All are running. I can stop it from one shot here in the admin portal. Okay, and we can do it. So it get a stop. Because it's little slow. The server is a little slow. Okay. So now it got a stop. It's getting a stop. Just wait for 2 minutes. Okay. Now it is done. Again, I will click here. Just to wait for a few minutes. Now you go to your host. Check it. Actually it is required more. Yeah, all are running now. You can see all are become this jar file, right? This Java jar. They are resting that process also. That is also some kind of process that you stop, but that is not required. Leave it. So you can see that host is coming. Now, if you want to see services, so that process services, right? So you can search here services. It will come under the application and microservice. You can see that. So all the services slowly is coming visible, right? Front end, back end, all those things. Now, if you see process, so process you can see in the technology page. So you can see we have Apache, all are running. We have a Go process. So we have Go process. Imagine we have, right? So imagine by default that the agent will get installed, SSM agent. Okay. Then Apache is running on Apache. So Apache Linux process is running. OneAgent SDK. We have installed that OneAgent, right? So and Java process. Okay. So all the processes are running. So where you can go and see that, you can see in the host page. Okay. You can see the host. So here we have a host. Now we'll discuss about the types of installation, all those things we'll discuss. Okay, so here you can see that. I hope everyone got the Dynatrace portal access. I think few of members did not get. Let me stop the recording. So one second, guys. One second. Okay. So while installing Dynatrace OneAgent, there are two types of installation.
I mean, I'm not like that. I'm not neither that.
Guys, go for a mute. Okay. Okay. So there's a two types of agent installation. Sorry, not closed. Just a minute. There is two types of agent installation. Okay. Two types of agent installation. The Dynatrace OneAgent we install, right? One is full stack mode, and second is infra mode. Okay, there's a two types of mode agent installation. One is full stack and one is infra. In infra mode, what are the things we'll install? Will visible when you install the Dynatrace OneAgent, right? Okay. So you can see the data once if you install infra mode, CPU, memory, disk, network, and along with that process. Okay, if you install as a full stack, then infra plus services. So this part will be visible, and plus services, that application has a service, right? Right? So that two types. So by default, Dynatrace agent will get installed as a full stack mode. Okay, is that clear, guys? So by default, you need to when you're installing Dynatrace OneAgent, it will get installed as a full stack. So if you see here, so if you see that this is your CPU, memory, disk, network, and along with that process, and then services, right? So services, where you can see that if you go to a Smartscape topology, you can see that services also coming, right? So you can see here you can see under service page. Okay. So where you can see that whether agent got installed as a full stack is the so if you see here setting page, host setting page, and monitoring, you can see agent is installed as a full stack. So by default, agent will install as a full stack. If you wanted to have an infra only, sorry guys. Okay. So if you want to have an infra only, so you see, you have seen that, right? Full stack. Okay, say yes. No. Okay. If you want to install as a infra, then while installing, you can itself disable that full stack. Okay. Like you can see here, disable that. Are you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can after OneAgent installation also you can disable as a full stack. You can make it to infra. How you can do that? Like you need to go to setting page, monitoring, and disable. Like suppose you by default you install, by mistake you install full stack. Later on you came to know that no, we should have a infra only. Then you can slider you can put it drop. If you slider put it drop, then again to reflect, restart is required. You put it back again full stack, again restart. Make sure that when you are doing a slider left and from left to right, every time restart is required to reflect it. Is that correct for everyone? You can change the host name from this page, general page. So you can see that this is the host name. You can give that EG travel web app. This is your host name. If you click here anywhere, click here, it will get changed to EG travel web app. Is that clear, guys? Till here, any dot?
Yes, it's clear.
Clear. Now, I want to have what? Environment gate, ActiveGate also. So to install environment ActiveGate, where I should go? I should go deploy Dynatrace page, scroll down, install ActiveGate, and select that which VM you want. You want to have Windows, Linux, Kubernetes, OC. I'm taking Linux. It is like for Windows, we'll get a exe, and for so I need one server, right? So I will take one more server. We can give that. Environment. It is taking time to load. Okay. You can give AG1. Okay. We'll select Amazon Linux and we'll take. So to how much configuration is required? Remember, 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM. So T2 medium. You can take that digital app, existing group. I'm not blocking anything. Take a default VPC. Taking. But we'll configure that memory dump also. So I'm taking 40 GB. So now if I'll go to view all instance, here, public IP, go to your mobile strum, session, SSH, remote host, control V, CPI username, EC2-user, sorry, hyphen user, advanced setting, use private key, digital update.pem. Okay, then yum update hyphen y. Nothing is update, nothing is required. I'll go to my Dynatrace portal where we create a token. So token, last time we have created from here. This time we can create from. So anywhere this here also you can create. Okay. So I am going with first step raw. So you can see we have a one module, second module, third module. All the modules installation step is different. Okay. So I'm going with first module. Now copy this. Go to server. Paste it. So again, you understood about that port blocking, the corporate source destination, your ActiveGate, which application you want to do that, right? So start.live.dynatrace.com. You can whitelist port, which port like 443 or 9999, right? So this should be 9999. Okay. So this is done. Second. Then third step. Okay. Got installed. Not yet. Okay. So it got installed. So now you see the deployment status. So environment ActiveGate, you can check it on only deployment status page. Like OneAgent, you can see whether it got installed or not, how much unit is required, host unit, one host unit is consuming. So that will discuss about the licensing part. OneAgent, you can see all the modules. See, by default, all the module is enabled. Okay. So we'll do some AWS integration that time also, that modules, all those things. So this is your ActiveGate. Okay. Now, so this part till here, any dot? So what is the command to stop and start the ActiveGate? Guys, tell me. Systemctl stop. Yeah, status. You take Dynatrace gateway. Okay, you can check a status is running active. If you same way, we can do a stop and a start. A stop and a start, we can do that, right? Is that fine with everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Same way for OneAgent, system CTL, stop, yeah, status, OneAgent service, yeah, start OneAgent, yeah, stop OneAgent. Okay, that you can do that. Can we install Dynatrace OneAgent on environment ActiveGate server? Yes, of course you can do that. Okay. So you wanted to install, you can do. Okay. So now let me install active agent also.
Hello.
So what? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So what is the recommended for active gates for install in our, like, based on the environment?
2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM minimum.
No, that is okay. But I'm asking how many we can install active gates.
You can install multiple. Depends on the application, right? Suppose you have multiple application, different firewall, different network,
Okay.
VPC, right? So then from one application, so what is happening? See, this environment ActiveGate is for multiple purpose, right? It is storing your memory dump from your application. It take a routing your OneAgent traffic. You have AWS integration, right? Multiple things you are doing that, right? Suppose for one X application running on one VPC, virtual private cloud, right? So you have that security group, all those things, right? When you are creating a VM, right? When you are creating a VM, what is required? Your VM name, OS, then security group. So security group, then we have all the subnet, all those things, right? So it's a part of one network, right?
If-
Now
ah,
suppose your this environment ActiveGate server part of different VPC, then you need to do the peering, right? To send the data. So make sure that when you are doing that OneAgent routing, yeah, all those things, either if it is an enterprise, then it is fine. It's also part of one VPC or two VPC. You can already peering, so then you can run anywhere. But if it's not like separate application, you have different network, different firewall. Then in that case, in that VPC itself, you set up one more VM and you configure that. If not, then if you're different VPC and you are configuring, then you should have a allow. You should give that IP port details to cloud admin. They will allow to your server, so you can save the data. All those things you can do that because
okay.
connection should be established. Okay, is that clear?
No, if considered hundreds or thousands of servers, so
100 and okay.
hundreds or thousands of servers in our environment. So
Hmm.
how many active gates is recommended?
We can do with one also. We can do with two also. We can do with 5 also. That depends. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, that depends, right? Suppose it's a depends on. Suppose you have 100 servers. Okay.
Okay.
Think, and 100 servers maybe serve 5 application.
Hmm.
Yeah, 5 application. Yeah, 10 application. Okay. Now, one application belongs to one team, and second, so they are paying some amount, right? For one application, they need environment ActiveGate to store a memory dump, all those things. But another application team, they are monitoring only services. They don't want to take memory dump. They don't have any cloud integration. All those, even memory dump you can do on the OneAgent server also. Locally also you can do that. So they don't want to pay for that server. Will you configure? Another application team will not allow, right? To use my server for that application also. So it is depends on the corporate to corporate. Okay, so that like when you configure, right? So we used to keep two like active ship. Yeah, you can keep multiple like per two application one ActiveGate. Yeah, three application one ActiveGate. So because that memory dump you are storing, right? Yeah, your plugin you are doing that, right? How many plugins you have? 10 plugins, 20 plugins, 30 plugins. Yeah, how much memory dump you are storing per day? 10 GB per day, 5 GB. And so, and how many people are accessing, downloading. So when you retrieving that, right, that much file, right, 1 GB of files, yeah, 500, 800 MB you are downloading from the server via URL, it will performance of your application, it will impact the performance of that server, right? So you should have like, suppose you are having multiple, you increase the VM size better. So, hey, this application is also getting onboarded for say is using, you increase the VM size little bit, hardware specification, storage, all those things, right? You can configure different path for to fetch, store the memory dump, right? Because for every application you configure the same path. Then what will happen is, like it will be mix match. So make sure that you configure like little, you should be little here, apply some permutation combination, check with solution architect, yeah, check with cloud teams, all those things, understand it, right? And then you, because when you are preparing architecture, right, cloud team also should verify to give a sign off, correct? When you have the on-prem architecture, correct? Make sure that you should have that also. SaaS also, just to check with cloud teams or something, you understand that like how many applications we should have. Yeah, you check with solution architect who is giving that. So they have that proper hierarchy, like how should be design should be. So that time itself, people will discuss. Okay, like as a developer, I am a developer, right? Individual
Yeah.
contributor. So these are the questions I will discuss with solution architect.
Okay.
How the applications should flow, because I don't know about your application, right? So maybe it
Okay.
required multiple, because one application team and second application team, they do not have any kind of peering. Okay, like data flow. In that case, what will happen? Two environment activities. I
Okay.
cannot put it in one, right? Yeah, I can put it on one ActiveGate. This also allowed to activate. This server also allowed to activate. Suppose second application said that, hey, I should have a own ActiveGate. And in that case, what will happen? I should have a two.
Two active
Yeah,
gates.
server. Yeah, sir. If this application team allow my server, added my IP to inbound. Okay, second application team does not allow. In that case, for them, I should have. If you allow, then I can have only one. So it depends. Okay, that how you want to do that.
Okay. So for example,
Hmm.
will the Dynatrace rise alert if the active gates getting overloaded with data?
Yeah. So when you, that is the reason I say you can monitor the Dynatrace also, ActiveGate also. Yes,
Okay.
you can monitor your ActiveGate JVM size. You can monitor ActiveGate CPU, memory, disk, process, so all everything you can do that. So that's what I tell. Can you monitor the ActiveGate? Can you install Dynatrace OneAgent on the ActiveGate server? Yeah, of course. This is also server, right? This is also component is running. You wanted to monitor that, right? I can do that. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So let's go to that my deploy Dynatrace page. Start installation, Linux, create a token, copy this. This is my ActiveGate server, right? So I'll move this, run it. Okay, copy this. Oh, yeah. Okay. No. Okay, so it's successfully installed. So what is the command to check? Systemctl status OneAgent dot service. So it is running. Same way you do a stop and start. Get right. Now if I'll go to my host page, you can see there's a 2 host. You can change the host name from here. So go this. This is a new page that Dynatrace has developed. You can see that new page. Okay, it's getting developed now. Okay, so you can go setting page and change that host name. This is my AG environment ActiveGate. Okay, now you see what are the. So this is your CPU utilization. Now process CPU utilization and each process how much is getting consumed. Okay, network traffic. Now you see what are the processes running. So if you see this, these are the processes are running. Right, so you can monitor your. So this does not require a full stack, right? Because you can do with infra also, correct? Because I don't want to monitor their service, right? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, so we can monitor. You can use infra also, and you can use full stack also. Okay, so let me. The new page is not looks good. Let me put it in that older page. Oh, you can't go back. Yeah, you see process. There's network logs, all those things you can see that. Okay, revert back. Oh, this is a reload of data. Okay, so these are things you can do. Now, if you want to see their service, whether it is running anything, you go to their smart escape. So you can understand that on this server, what are the connections we have. There is no service running, right? So what we'll do is we can disable that infra, full stack to infra. So how we can do that? I will go to here. I will go to my setting page where we have a setting. Here, go to the classic page. What is that classic page? Lot of things that Dynatrace has developed. Okay, so older page. Now you go to your setting page and disable that. So go to monitoring and disable that. But still you can see the same information. So because full stack and infra has a different price, right? So now you see infra is only two, but still you can see that process, right? Because there is still you can see that nothing is running. So that way you can do that. Okay. So now if you enable as a full stack configure monitoring, you go that you want to monitor their services. So once it is done, you can restart all those things. So it will be captured. So now let's wait for a few minutes. Now we can restart that OneAgent, right? So systemctl status, so we can do it, stop. Then we can start. Okay. So now, so anything should reflect, right? Restart. Okay. So anything is running. ActiveGate is running. How much is consuming? CPU 2%. Like this, you can get that details. Okay. So you can monitor that. Okay. Is that fine? Now you can understand that how to install Dynatrace OneAgent, how to install environment ActiveGate. Okay, these two things we have installed, right? Now you can see all the service are available. Most of the service will be available now. It was running from long back, so all the service are available. Now so once you install Dynatrace OneAgent, then and if you have a license, so there are different types of licensing we have. Okay, if you have, so now we discuss about host unit license. Okay, so we'll discuss license later, but right now we have a license for host units. That is, so in the host unit license, the license will discuss in deep, but host unit license you can install OneAgent. That's it. Install OneAgent. That's it. Nothing you can do. No application configuration. For application configuration is required. Then you do alerting, configuration dashboard, profile management done. That is different part for license part, right? So now for application creation, right, we require DM license. Okay. So now we configured the web app, right? So now to configure the web app, what we need to do is, so you have the application, right? So this is my application, right? So to take the URL and configure the application, so you go to your Dynatrace portal, you go to your setting page. So there's a different types of applications you can configure. You can configure your web app, you can configure your custom app, you can configure your cloud app, in like iOS, Android app, yeah, iOS app, lot of things you can do that, right? So I'm configuring, this is my web app, so you can configure my web app. So I will go to web application. So where I should go? Web and mobile monitoring, application detection. Application detection under the web application app. Configure the web application. So this is my add item. So you can give the matches. So URL contains pattern you can give. Okay. And application name. So this is my create a new application and create a new application. Application name you can give EG travel. Okay. Create that. URL contains this one and save changes. So it got configured. Okay. So now if you go to your, if you go to where we have, you go to your search and select web. So you can see web application, GSTL web, create here. So now you can see my web application got Agitral, right? But there is no data, right? So to get the data, just you do the traffic. So log out. Again, you log in, do some traffic. Even you can generate some traffic on this application. Hit this application and generate some traffic. What is happening there? Something goes down. Wait, database, see, now database is not visible. Something went down. So we logged in, search, where you want to go, search that trip destination bucket and payment it. Okay. So now you see here where we have application. See, now data came. So how that data is getting fetched? Just I configured the application, it started fetching because we have installed Dynatrace OneAgent. Completely automated, right? And when you configure the application, right? So Dynatrace, what it will do, inject a JavaScript, okay, in your application header. So if you see that, if you go to this application, go to home page, open this inspect page, okay? Go to network tab, okay? And hit the URL. I have fitted the URL. Now you see this. You can see Ruxit agent here. You can see. So what is happening? This is my request URL, right? That I have configured till 8079 slash. After that, what is happening is Ruxit agent JS some ID .js, right? It got injected in your URL header. So it gave contents. So anywhere we have this URL, right? Anywhere you go in this application, right? This will never get changed. Say, are you agree with me or not, guys? This will never change. So we have injected JavaScript tag head syntax in your URL header. Okay, so this is called automatic injection. So automatic injection, we done it, right? So now if you go to that application, Digital Web App, you go to your okay, you go to your application, there's a different types of injections. It took 3.3 seconds to load that application. All the data is coming, right? So now if you see this, there's a types of injection. We have manual and we have automatic injection. Okay. So if you see this injection, JavaScript updates, this is updates, right? If you go to injection, again is getting not. Okay, so you see that automatic injection we did, right? So if you do that manual, you see this only we have a snippet. This is your code snippet. You can see this ID .js, right? Till here to here. And you go to your application until ID. It is same 1641 1641. Okay. So we have done automatic injection. OneAgent JavaScript tag. We install the agent, configure the application because application accept automatic injection. Okay. That is the reason you can inject automatic. Most of the normal application, it support automatic injection, but whenever you have a banking, yeah, some application, insurance, finance, payment kind of application, it does not allow. Some of the application, if you have seen that, if you click on the view page source also, it will block. You cannot do the view page source, yeah, inspect also. Have you seen that kind of application? Right? So that kind of application, when you have that, it does not allow to automatic injection. Then what you need to do is you download this snippet. You download this snippet, okay, and you give it to your application team to add in your application startup argument. Like we have that index.html page, right, where we have all the script. You add it there and restart the application, okay, and then it will get reflected. Okay, so you can do, we have two types of injection. One is automatic and one is manual. Manual, you need to contact to developer. I do not have source code of this, so they will open their source code, they'll add this insertion, and then they will save it, and again they will deploy it, and they'll restart the application. So then once they will add it, you can see the data. Okay, and you can create a custom rules like for URL pattern something, either do not inject. Okay, like you don't monitor that, right? Some of the page or something, right? Yeah, automatic injection, you can create a rule. It does not allow. If you force it, it will allow something before a specific HTML, after a specific, where you want to paste this snippet, right? Injection, that also you can create that rule. Okay, for manual also you can create where you want to put that. Okay, you want to put before a specific HTML, yeah, after a specific HTML, you can put that. Yeah, automatic injection, wherever you want to put, you can put, and you can configure that. Okay, so this will, once you configure the application, when you you don't see that data, application data, once you configure the application, then you configure anyway, either you go manually or automatic. You need to configure the application first, then only you'll get a snippet, right? Are you agree with me or not? Once you configure the application, data is coming or not coming is the secondary part. Okay, first you need to configure the application to get the data, right? So data if coming or not coming is the secondary part. First you need to configure the application. Once you configure the application, then only you'll get a JavaScript snippet. Okay, if you configure the application, you did some traffic, data is not coming, then what you need to do? Just you take a, then you check that application team, hey, whether automatic injection is enabled. If say yes, enabled, then you check that port connectivity, all those things. If it is everything is okay, then you check the license is there. then data is not coming, then you, hey, it is not happening. Check in the application source code like the way I did, right? Check like this, the way I did. Same way you check it, like under the either view page source also you can do. You can see this Ruxit agent, Control F, Ruxit you do, yeah, you do it that way. Okay, you do it. If you are getting the data, then it is fine. Not, then you take that snippet, download it, and you give it to your application team. They'll add it in your index.html. Okay. Is that fine with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you got the application data, right, you need to enable application support some of the framework. I did one traffic. Okay. But see, it will organize that, hey, for based on your traffic, I got these are the frameworks like prototype, jQuery, ICFSS. I should enable that. So either you click here framework setting. Yeah, you want to click, you go to edit button. Capture async web request, and you need to enable the framework, like whichever the framework it is supporting. So you see this following the, so you see the ICFSS, jQuery, prototype. So all the kind of application, right? Any application support some framework. Okay. So, and if application support like XML HTTP request, okay, XHR action we used to call, right? Then we can enable that. So this application supports, so I can enable that. Okay. And if I'll go to my digital application, now you can see XHR is also enabled. Now I can, once I'll do some more traffic, I can see some of the information is loading that XHR page also. Okay. So now if you see that, this is my application service flow. This is my application service. We have a journey, we have a booking, we have authentication. This is my application running on this web server. This is my application name, digital customer frontend, and this is my Java. And then we have a journey service. Then it will go to database. This is a booking service, authentication service, all those things. Okay. We have, when you do the traffic, all the service will get visible. Okay. So this is the response time and throughput. You can see that like each service, what is the response time, what is the load on this service. So now we have requested 25 requests. Throughput means request per minute, right? Hope you remember that. Throughput means request per minute. Request per minute. Okay. So this way you can understand that response time for each service. Anyway, you can do it from, you can see it from here also. Yeah, you can see in the service page also. Anywhere you can go and you can see that. So when you will do performance engineering part, you can see for each service, you can see the credit card verification. You can check and you can see what is the response time, load, all those things you can understand that. See, so this is okay. So this is the service, this is the response time, this is the failure rate, all those things you can understand. Response time, failure rate, throughput, everything you can understand here also. Code level data available is starting from Feb 17 because it started from today only, right? So when we started 11/25, so it was coming from that time. So it will take 10 days code level data will be visible, right? So these are that. Is it clear till here? So application creation. Slowly we'll go with different types of application configuration. But till now, web app, you understood how to configure a web app.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, once you install a OneAgent, you configure a web application. Now, what you need to do is you need to segregate. So now we have multiple applications. So once you have multiple, you install multiple server, you install the agent. Then what you need to do is all the data will club together. Correct. Now suppose we have another application where I also am installing Dynatrace OneAgent. So all the service will get visible here only, right? So yeah, different kinds of environment you think. Like we have a development environment, we have a UAT environment, we have a production environment. All the data. So booking service, you can see the 2 times. Authentication service, you can see the 2 times. All those things, right? So what is we used to segregate them. So there's a concept is called management zone. How many people are aware of that?
What's that?
Management zone.
And one more thing, when we have to go with the manual instrumentation,
Hmm.
is that something developer will take care, or we will be
Yeah,
the one who will be?
no, developer should take care.
Okay, so we just need to provide them that particular
Sni-
piece of.
you need to configure the application, download your snippet, give it to your application team, because see, application will, you should not have application source code access, right? You cannot edit, because you are a Dynatrace admin. How come as a corporate, I'm telling you, how come they will give you the access to modify their code, all those things, right? They will not allow you. Anyway, most of the cases, you should not have a server access at all, right? You are giving the installation step in the call or something, and they will installing on the server. Yeah, they have some Ansible script is running automatically get installed, right? Somewhere you are running that, okay? But you should not have the access with your credential or something. But most of the cases, so that is the reason you should not take that responsibility. You should provide the snippet to application team who is supporting that application, and tell them that you should add in this snippet in your application the startup page, whichever page you want to monitor. Suppose you want to monitor all the pages, so you take care where I should add. If you want to monitor only 5 pages, then you think of it every pages you need to add, right? So that's a different way to instrumentation. So that application team that will take care, okay? Because suppose this application has a 100 page, suppose a 50 page, and you don't want to monitor all the 50 pages, okay? So in that case, because that license will consume, right, somewhere.
Yeah.
In that case, I wanted to monitor first page, second page, third page, then they'll insert in the 3 pages only. In the automatic injection, it will instrument all the pages, but you don't want to instrument all the pages, then you can create a injection. You can add some custom rule you can configure, and you can take out some page with the help of URL. You can give the URL / like contact / location, some pages, right? So that page you don't want to monitor. That's fine. You can configure the rule. But when you are doing the manual, then why you configure the rule? Better you add only that page, right? 5 page or 6 page. If they have added all the pages, then again you need to configure the rule in the Dynatrace portal. Vice versa, you can do that. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
So now there's a concept is called management zone. So when you have a different customers, yeah, different applications, different environment, okay, you can create a management zone. So management zone is nothing but like you create a zone, like I'm creating a zone, like, right? So I'm you have seen that COVID time they are creating a zone A, zone B, zone C, something like that. You remember? That area is called zone A, red zone, yellow zone, green zone, something like that. Same way. So management zone, like we have a customer A. Customer A. Yeah. So management zone you can configure. You should plan at the while you are doing the designing. Either we should go with customer wise, either you should go with the application wise. So customer A means application wise. Okay. Application wise, yeah, I should go with environment wise. Okay. So you should plan. Okay. So I'm going with application, then you should get application A, application B, application C, application D. I'll configure that management zone, and whichever A application data we have, right? So this is your global zone, and then we have a global. So whichever data we have in the global zone, and under the global zone, whichever data is part of A, I will move this data. So not I will control X, I will do control C. So I will create a such kind of rule and move that from global zone to A zone. I will not do control X, means cut paste. I will not do copy paste. Okay, so it will be available in global also. It will be available in A also. Is that clear? Same way I will do for B. Same way I will do for C. Same way I will do for D. Is that clear, guys? This is a basic layman, that management zone concept. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
So any doubt to understand the management zone? That's the layman I'm telling you how you can do that. I'll give you the documentation, you read that, but as a layman, either you can do the environment wise. Suppose you have a application, okay? A application, and A application has a 10 host, then 100 service, 50 process group. Then what will have? 50 synthetic. Okay, then 4 application. These are the information we have, right? Then we have a 2 AWS account. Then what will have? 10 SLO, right? These are the things we have, right? For any application. We are configuring, right? We are installing an agent, we are configuring an application, we are creating a dashboard, we are integrating with accounts, we are configuring a SLO, we are configuring a synthetic monitoring, right? Say yes or no. So this many data, right? So this many data I will take from the global and I will paste it to a zone. I'll configure a zone and I move it to a zone. When we are moving, I can't do controls cut paste. Like you cannot create a rule such a way that it will remove from the global zone, it will add it in the A zone. No, it will do global will be global. Okay, only admin has a global access. Those are Dynatrace admin. They are configuring application and all. Only those member has a global access. Okay, but remaining like customer A, customer B, customer application A, application B, application C, application DT has only application access, right? So you can, when I will give you the access for A, you are part of A application, I will give you only A access. I will not give you B, C, D. I will not give it to you. Okay. I'll give you only, if you are part of B, then I'll give you part of AB also, then I will give you AB. If you're part of ABC also, then I will give you ABC. You are part of ABCD all, then I'll give you ABCD, but I will not give you global admin. Okay, so this is the way you can do some like access part. So that way you can move your data also, application data, host, process, services, account, container, all those things you can move it to synthetic, application, SLO, everything you can move it to that zone. So when you select a zone A, your entire UI will get changed. Only you can see only A information. Is that correct, guys? Understood?
Yeah.
So same way you can do on the environment also. Okay. So let's configure the management. So this is the same way cycle I am doing it, how you wanted to do the POC. Okay. So now I have configured application. I have installed the agent. I have a service. Then let me create a management. Then slowly we'll move that data. So I'm going to setting page. I'll go to that where to have a management preferences, then management zone. Add a new management zone name. I'm going easy travel. Okay, description, nothing. Description is not needed. Can create a new rule. Select. So this is a different way to fetch the data. Either you go to monitor entity dimension. So I'm taking monitor entities, and rule applies for. So what data you wanted to move? So now I wanted to move host information. So add condition to move that rule, right? So host name, right? OneAgent host name. Now suppose you want to take, now you have a 2 host, right? One host we have EG travel, another host is AG. Either you, how many rules you create? 2 rules. Yeah, you can create a regex. So it will take a 2 host. Okay, so I'm taking a contains and value you will give, right? So contains you will give, then exact value you should give. Okay, so you will type EG travel web app, right? Remove the case sensitive and search it. Got this? One host. There is an instance ID. It's easy to instance. That is the reason. So it got. And I am trying to move their process running on matching host. Whichever process running, that also should save changes. So for host, I should create one more. I will select one more here and then add a new rule for host itself. So monitored entity rule applies for host, and Now I will give the host name again. Okay. Contains what name I have given. You remember? Hope everyone is able to access Dynatrace portal.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a environment space AG. So I will give. So now I have taken the contents. Now I will take an end with. End with means other host also will come with. Okay, it will take that also. So you see, not coming. Environment AG. I have given AG at AG. So you take it. So I remove the case sensitive, so it is coming. So another host when it will come, right? So now suppose what I'm trying to say is a corporate. Okay, in the corporate level, a host name, all if it's a one application like something like this, right? How the host name should be prepared? Tell me, guys. You're all are working professional. You have seen that host name like suppose EK, the application name. Suppose application name is a BPI. So BPI environment ID environment. So is a UAT. So U then UAT is like something like that, right? Then we have location like C, then some value 00, then data center location, something like that, right? Like that value will be there, right? 001, 002, 003, something like that, right? Say yes or no, guys. Are you agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
So a host name we are defining something like a mixture of application name, environment, data center location, right? So all those things mixture of something they are putting, right? Then with some unique value, right? So this way you are defining the host name, right? So all the host names, so you can, while you are configuring the rule, you can see that like you can take a start with, yeah, end with, yeah, contains something, right? You can take that. Okay, if not, then you can, there's other way, like you can configure, add some tag, and with the help of tag, you can do that. Yeah, lot of things you can do that. But most of the in the corporate, like hostname will be defined such a way that it should has all the series value. Okay, so you can take that some value and you can configure that. So this way I have done. So I have created a two rules. Now you can see in the EG travel, I will select two hosts I can see. But if I'll go to my all, now I will service. If I'll go my service page, I can see all the service. This now I'm in the global because there is no filter. Okay, I can see 24 service. But when I filter this, easy travel, do I see any service? No. Why? Can you tell me the reason? Because we have not created a rule to move from global to easy travel. For that, we have not created any rules, right? Just we have moved that only two hosts. For hosts, we have created rule. Same way, we need to create a rule for every sort things like you wanted to move. Like you need to create a rule for SLO, you need to create a rule for synthetic, you need to create a rule for web application, you need to create a rule for service, everything you need to create a rule. So now I have created for a host. Now let's create a for a web app. Add a new rule, entity selector, monitored entities, rule applies to now what? Web application, and then add condition, web application name contains EG. Okay, preview. Not getting why? Because I have the case sensitive. So now it is coming. Either we have a case sensitive. So exact value is not there, right? So now we have removed the case sensitive. Now I am getting. So I have moved that application now. Now I wanted to move their service. So I indicated a rule for a service. Rule applies for monitor entities. Rule applies for service. Add new condition. We'll take service name. Take detected service name. I'm taking a regex also. Does not contains, does not equal something. I'm taking regex also. You can write a regex. So see all the services coming. Means we gave double quote means this value, any service, we can take it from here to here, anything. We are not filtering anything, right? Like in the script, right? You have written, right? Like any condition you are taking, if a statement, some value equal to double quote, then you are printing some value, right? Like some variable, and then you are doing the message, correct? Say yes or no, if you are a developer. You remember that? So any value will take, right? And then you give the print value. So that also you are parsing a variable, and then you are messaging, correct? So same way you can create a regex proper way, and you can configure that. Okay, so you can save changes. You can see some regex pattern on YouTube, how you can create a regex, all those things. So now you see, I have created a rules, right? So now if I'll go to my service, and I can see easy trial also all the 24 service, and I can see all also 20. So we are doing copy paste. Okay. Now if you go to web application, select web. Now, so you can do the web application. Okay. Is that fine with everyone? Now everyone able to understood now? So you can see here, or you can see here also. Both way, right? No data from last 26 minutes because we have not done any transaction. Okay. That is the reason. So now if you go to that application, you can see that information, right? Use analyze user session, you can do a lot of things we'll discuss. Okay, slowly. So now hope this part now, so we have logged in 3 times, so 3 users, so you can see that, right? So this part is clear now. So this you are getting a data, you are seeing the data only for a specific for this application. So when I'll give the end user, right, I'll give this access, not all access. So when you have a multiple, is that clear? So same way we can configure for, you can configure other application, we can install all the configurations we can do, and you can move their data. So right now, what are the data we have? Like we have a process, we have a service, we have a host, we have all those things we can move. So now if you go technology page, you can see the technology also, because the host we have added, right? All the process running. Why we have not moved? Okay, it is not yet moved. Huh? We have enabled, right? No. Let me check. Preferences, management zone. So we can create a rule for process group also. Yeah, we can add in this also. So suppose host we are taking, right? So this host. So apply process also I'm taking, then it should move, right? You see all the process is coming. It should come either, yeah, you can create a new rule. So I will go to that management zone. It should come. Okay, add new condition. Okay, rule applies. Wait. This part changes. Management zone. Here, add a new rule. Rule applies to monitor entities. Service applies to process group. Add condition. Okay. Process. Detected process group name. Now here I don't want to, it does not equal double quote. We can give, and we can preview all that's coming and save changes. So now if you go to your technology page, it should come actually on the host itself if you add. Now it is coming. I think it takes time or something. I'm not sure. So this way you can move your all the informations. Okay. Hope everyone understood, right? So same way you can create a different management zone, and you can configure the application, right? So now what you can do is So now you have created one. Guys, understand it. Now there is a API. Okay, you can configure that JSON body and do the changes. Control C, control. How many times you will create a manually, right? It will not good, right? Say yes or no. Guys, say yes or
Yeah.
no. So what you can do is you can create a JSON body proper way and then put it in your Postman, and you can. So what you can do is you can easily just you hit one time, you hit everything in one shot, right? So that way you can do it like so. This is the API. Okay, we'll discuss about that. So like application creation, everything you can do one shot. Everything you can do in one shot. So that is kind of automation you can do. So there is a tool is called Postman. Hope everyone is using or not. Like you can create a Dynatrace, a shallow like I was creating. Okay, so it's like this. You need to prepare a JSON body. You see, you need to prepare a JSON body, and just you do that changes and send. That's it. Got post means create, put means delete, delete means delete, get means fetching the data, and patch means particular only one time one thing you wanted to change. You can do the patch. So like this, you can prepare that body. You can create a token, all those things, and you can do it in one shot. Okay, so that is this is the way you can do it. Okay, so we'll discuss that API will later. So now you can understood that management zone concept. Is that clear with everyone? Now we wanted to create another management zone. You can create another management zone. So you want to see the host information. You go to the host. Can can see we have a two host like this. So now we'll discuss about synthetic. We'll add the synthetic under this. We'll discuss about other things. We'll add under this AWS integration. We'll add under this. Okay. So this way you can do it, right? Is that fine?
Yeah.
So we can see, this is all we'll discuss. Okay. Now, so how many full stack we have? We have a two full stack. How many infra we have? So how many infrastructure hosts we have? No infrastructure. That is your filter part. You can do that. Okay. That you can do that. Now, so this part is done. Host. So under the host, what are things you can see? Remember it. So why? Because in the interview CPU, you can see CPU uses system load. Memory uses page fault, swap uses. NIC, traffic, packet, quality, connectivity, disk utilization, throughput, IOPS, disk latency, disk space uses, inodes available, all those things you can see, right? On this, you can see the availability status. The status is running. Okay. Vulnerability and all, it is coming. It is a new thing was developed. Okay, not yet in live. These are the processes running. If you want to see all the process, CPU utilization, memory utilization, all those things, you can see, click on the all the process. You can see process, CPU, memory, traffic, retransmission, connectivity, file, and all those things. All the processes running. If you want to go check a specific process, you can click here. You can go to the specific process page. Now under for this to run this process, what are the services required or dependency, right? If this process is down, this many service will not be, right? Then we have these are the four incoming process. This is the four outgoing process. Each process, how much request, what is the suspension time, what is the traffic, what is the connectivity, what is the CPU utilization, how much memory is consuming, all the information you can see. You can see the log also when we enable the log monitor. Okay, so that's where you can see that. Okay, now is that clear? You can go. Same way you can do memory also. So memory also it will redirect to the same page, right? Because these are the information you are checking in the process, right? Process page. See, this process must be restarted, but all those things are coming the same page. Okay, is that clear, guys? You can see that overall graph. Now till here it went 47%. Now it got reduced. Now again it went to 16%, right? When you do that traffic, we generate a traffic on your application. Definitely your CPU, memory, everything will get high, right? So this way you can see the graphs. Is that clear till here?
Yes, Ravi. One quick check.
Okay.
So mm, how resource extensive this OneAgent looks to be when we will be putting it on any server?
Okay, Dynatrace say in production it will consume max 2% of CPU overhead. Okay, max. Okay, but it does not go 2% also. Okay,
Okay, okay. And there must be some SLA, like if it is hampering.
hampering see definitely there is a bug. Okay? Sometimes when you're installing and that agent has a bug, yeah, something, and when you install the Dynatrace OneAgent, it consume 19% of CPU, 15% of CPU. Maybe, right? Sometimes it's like once in a moon it happens. Okay, that time if it's that, then you need to have a OneAgent support archive. Okay, you can take and you can inform that to Dynatrace support team. They must will give you some patch or something to run the server. Yeah, they will give you some command to run on the server to fix it. Yeah, if there is a some decent bug got detected or something, then they'll fix the bug and they will roll out the new version. Okay, these are the steps, right? You guys are monitoring. You are the everyone is from here monitoring side. We know that, right? Every configuration sometimes has anytime has a bug, right? So to have the bug, what they do fix and patches and all, they are giving by Dynatrace, correct?
Yeah, and
Sometimes it happened. Yeah, go ahead.
got it, got it. And since let's suppose we opted for full stack option,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And it started all with like giving us infra as well as application
service.
related metrics.
Mm,
And now we are looking forward to create some dashboard with
mm.
some drill downs manually on Dynatrace end. Is that something we are allowed to do?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, you can do that. Dashboard is nothing but metric, right? So from the metric, you are fetching the data, put it, and you are designing in your dash portal somewhere, right? So same way, so you can do that. That is not an issue, right? You can create. We have metric. There's a called data explorer. Okay? All the metric you are available, which whatever integration you have done, yeah, what kind of application you have done, that metric will be visible. Okay, and you can see the metric data. You can create that metric. You can create and you can put it in your dashboard. So drill down also. So like suppose you do some drill down and you page you multiple page you font something, and that you put it in your dashboard. Okay. Then what you can do is for that there is no metric will be available, right? Suppose you did the drill down, okay, for that metric is not available. So you wanted to put in the dashboard. What you can do is, if there is an option is available to pin to dashboard, that page you wanted to pin to dashboard directly, you can pin to dashboard. Suppose this page I wanted to put pin. We have something pin to dashboard. No. If you go to service, okay, even okay, I'm taking authentication service. Okay, now I wanted to okay. So this service I want to have a pin to dashboard, right? So any pages you want to go. Now I want to went to view distribution trace. I'm going from that, right? Now I'm did some filter like response code 4x. No 4x error. Okay, leave it. So now I want to this page. I cannot pin it, right? I don't have option to pin it. And this way I cannot fetch the data like something if it is not possible from the metric. Okay, then in that case what you need to do is there is a concept of URL. You can add the URL. So in the dashboard, so whenever you click the, it will redirect the same. Okay, and you can give the specific header to get the status of this, to get the status of that. All those things you can do that. Okay, did I
okay,
answer your question?
yeah, it does. So this chart we can see, right?
Hmm.
If I want to make sure that if I'll click on any of the point, for example, at 1254,
Hmm.
uh, like in between 1254 and 1256, I see a spike.
Yeah, so
And
you can create an analysis range. Okay, you can like this, you can create and you can create an analysis range, and you can do it. Okay.
Okay.
So now you can see that.
And if I want to specifically mark some redirect over here, is that possible?
Redirect over here means what?
Like your cursor is showing some data. Okay. Now I want to click on it and see that more details about this trace count, what it is showing.
No, so you cannot click here. Now the data is coming here. So there is an issue, right? So now you need to click here. Traces, details of failure, backtrace. You need to come here and you need to do that.
Okay, so once we'll highlight there, it will
Suppose
somewhere.
now you have a 10 minutes of data is very huge. Okay, so you remember database when I used to click on the login, it was not login. That
Yeah.
user is not visible. There was some authentication issue. Remember?
Yeah.
I was trying to, and then you see here, we found it, right? There was a login user was not found, something, right? There was some database connectivity was happened or something. Okay, so authentication issue was there. Okay, in the business packet. So we need to. So now you have half an hour of data. It's very huge, and like 12:53 to 12:54, there was some spike. Okay, so you take that. So a spike, you can take that for you from where to where, like from when it was gradually increase and when it was ended, right? So during that time, you can create a zoom, select that area and zoom it. Okay, so drag it. So only for that, for each second of interval, you can see the data. Then you can get all the list of data and see where is the problem. Okay, all the problem that got occurred and the disease traces, right? It will be in the red color. Okay, you take that and that particular traces, you go inside the traces, you can able to complete refine analysis.
Perfect.
Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, thank you, Rami.
Okay, now so management zone concept is clear. So now you can able to configure create the multiple management zone or something. If you want to try it out, just create a replica. Okay, like just like Easy Travel one, yeah, BPI, XYZ, yeah, with your name, same data you try to move. So you have some exposure. I'll give you that 111 to 125 like 10 minutes of time with the same naming, right? So just to give like, okay, SRE hyphen easy travel, this hyphen easy travel, whatever your name we have, it is showing, right? So divine hyphen easy travel, J hyphen Rakesh hyphen. So you create that. So you have exposure because I know that like after having a class, it's very difficult to watch, yeah, configure all those things. So you do the practice for 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, you can do that. So you do it and let me know once you're done. If you are facing any issue, then we can discuss it out. Okay. Just you put little effort there. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, if you are done, then go for a lunch. Okay, and we'll back at 2:30. Okay, and then we'll discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Today
Thanks.
we'll have a little more break because honestly, I'm doing office, or I have some office work also.
Okay.
Tomorrow, tomorrow because I did not get it. And
Okay.
tomorrow,